Dozens of people defy orders to stay at home.
But a significant number of Londoners don't appear to be listening.
Party goers are in the water right now, having a great time in Miami Beach.
If I get corona, I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying. You know?
Younger people ignoring orders of social distancing.
This is so unintelligent and reckless.
The whole social distancing thing hasn't really taken hold in Bondi just yet, I would say.
Our grandparents were asked to go to war, and we're being asked to sit on a couch and watch Netflix for 1 to 3 weeks. Compared to going to the front lines and literally dying, how about you just stay at home?
Hi, I'm Ben, and as of today, I've been in self-isolation here in Toronto for about a week now. And you can kind of tell because of the horrible neck beard going on here. So let's fix that. This is so much better. So in this video, we're gonna be doing a roundup of all of the news that crossed my path this week. Mostly to do with really, really stupid people, awesome people, things to keep in mind when you're self-isolating, avoiding cabin fever, how bicycles are the best mode of transportation during a pandemic like this, and of course, a reminder for you to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let me open with some of the stupidest shit that I've seen all week. There are nightclubs that are open right now in Toronto, or at least they were as of like March 19th, which is when I got a post from a friend that had a video in it, and it's a bunch of people dancing at a club. There were still nightclubs open. Do you know how easy it is for a virus to spread at a nightclub? That's exactly how viruses spread. You don't need to be a health scientist to know that. That means you shouldn't be going. So anyone who was there doing the dancing, you pieces of shit, you are so self-centered that you guys who were dancing probably have it because it's so easily spread. Even if you're healthy, you now are going to infect other people who might be compromised. Their immune systems might be compromised. That's exactly why we don't want to be doing this sort of stupid shit. There are more and more photos and videos being posted online of people just not taking the virus seriously, and it just kills me. Well, hopefully not me and hopefully not other people, but it irritates the heck out of me because they're just going to harm innocent people. No regard for your health or their own or anything. They just think they're invincible. And in this case, we're not invincible. This virus is like a horrible thing. I don't know if you've seen, but like pretty much the extreme cases where you die, you drown because your lungs fill up with liquid and you drown. And we need to flatten that curve. If you haven't heard about flattening the curve, I will link resources down below in the description because everyone should know about flattening the curve. This is essential. It really matters at this point, especially for this type of pandemic that can just get out of hand so quickly if we don't take the proper precautions. The good news is that previously there was a $25,000 fine for any businesses that were still open. But now, if you disobey emergency orders as an individual, you will be charged up to $1,000. And as a business, it's $500,000. That's a lot of money. I really hope that the government enforces this. It's a really hard time for small business. I understand that. But people's lives are on the line here. And it's just a really hard time. I understand why businesses are trying to stay open, but especially nightclubs and restaurants and things like that where the virus can just spread. That's exactly what we don't need right now. Just to close this point off, I really want to point out this piece of shit in this Koodo video.
How are you guys feeling about this whole thing?
I don't really care about it.
Are you taking any precautions?
No.
No?
Absolutely not. My immune system is good enough, I don't care.
Do you have family that could be susceptible?
No.
Interesting, okay.
That guy right there, the comments have already said it. F you. You are a piece of shit. Up next is a video from a friend of mine, Elisa, who's a Canadian in Italy right now.
More now on a Canadian living in one of those cities under lockdown in Italy. Lena.
That's right, Steph. I want you to meet now a young woman who is living in Italy in lockdown, Elisa Dellera.
That's right. She's in Italy, in quarantine right now, and she posted a video about everything you need to know and why self-isolating is so important.
The entire country of 60 million people is under lockdown. And why is it on lockdown? Well, it's on lockdown because people weren't taking it seriously. People didn't think it was that much of a threat. People just wanted to do whatever the hell they wanted.
If I haven't convinced you, she will.
If she doesn't, I don't know what to say, because she does a really good job. Up next is social isolation. Actually, what we're doing is self-isolation, and it's important to know the difference. Self-isolation is to do with physical distancing from each other. So here we are. I am definitely self-isolating, but social distancing is not needed. We have the interwebs at this point, the internet. It connects us, and it is a great tool to make sure that we don't go insane. I know there's a lot of funny jokes online about introverts saying that this is great. I get to now not have to excuse myself, and I can just be alone all the time. That's great. I find it really funny, but I am an extrovert. Luckily, we have the internet. Just remember that you need to distance yourselves. On the same topic, actually, comes making sure you don't get cabin fever. I think it's really important to not only stay home. I know everyone's saying stay home and self-isolate, but self-isolate is the key word there. Staying home for 3 weeks, that's what you had to do in China because of the population density, but in Canada, we don't have that population density. I've been out here filming for like an hour, and no one has crossed my path. And if they did, all they would have to do is stay a little bit farther away and just not proceed to cough on me. During the week, I was able to get out of the house and bike to work to be the office gopher. Everyone else was not there, so I was the only one at the office doing call forwarding and just other things that you need to be physically there for. And that was nice. It got some fresh air on my face, and if you can, I encourage you to get outside for going for a walk. Oh, and while I was there, I also printed out how to wash your hands. It's kind of an instructional thing. It's just a one-pager, and I learned something. I learned how to wash your hands like this as well. These instructions I posted at my shared house. Again, that's in links in the description, so I'll include those there. Oh, wait, there is one thing. If you are washing your hands, which you should be, that's the #1 most important thing to be doing during this, except for, I guess, social distancing. Make sure you don't use extraordinarily hot water, because what happens is your hands start to crack. And you should be using moisturizer as well, because as much as you are washing your hands very, very often, because of that, your hands will dry out naturally, even if you're not using scalding hot water. So just make sure you do that. During a pandemic, bikes are the best way of getting around, because you don't need to come in contact with anyone. I've seen these posts in bike groups, and they're so right. Biking is totally the best way of getting around a city in a time like this. You could argue that a car is better, but after being stuck inside for days on end, most likely not doing much physical activity, biking guarantees a nice workout and an extended period of fresh air on your face. Oh! That was somewhat frightening.
There are so many more things that I need to cover that I can't cover in this video, and I'll be making more videos coming up, but for you to actually see them, you need to go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you're notified when I do put them out. Some of those topics include, but are not limited to, the insanity with the stock market, the impacts on small business, unemployment rates skyrocketing globally, overall economic uncertainty, EI claims, and the actual nitty-gritty and real stuff that's happening with them, including delays, food delivery costs that are being waived. I'm kind of curious about the profit margins there. Provincial states of emergencies that have been declared, but not federal for some reason. And the list goes on. Until next time, stay safe, informed, and calm. We don't need panic right now. We just need to be informed. All right, bye.